video time. Where's my cameraman?
Hi there, my name's Brady and I'm behind the camera. I make various YouTube channels such as periodic videos and 60 symbols, and Numberphile and Computerphile.
And Words of the World.
But this is actually a new video that we're starting.
What are we recording, Brady?
This is actually a YouTube video, probably the most requested thing we've ever had. I won't be doing it all on my own. I'll be having some help from periodic videos and 60 symbols and Numberphile and a guy called Mark Sabine.
That's me.
We're really looking forward to.
Right, let's get this show on the road. The Mark Sabine and Friends Collab by 256YS2ARRING256 and ever-increasing numbers of people. So the word today is new, not ultra-microscopic, and it's spelt Putonghua, if you'll excuse my extremely bad English. The word is YTPs, and that's spelt YTPCOLLABE. What's the word on the street?
I'm looking for the word on the street. What's the word on the street?
The word is marmoslave, slave, and it's spelt MARMASLAVE. The word originates in Portuguese, and that's a fruit. Marmelada was originally, and indeed still is, a fruit. The word is and it's cut into cubes and served with cheese and usually with coffee. You wouldn't want to peel this segments and eat them. It's almost impossible to eat it, so sour. However, when you be in the marmalade, you end up with a very intense, very refreshing this flavour. So how did it come to be this sort of mass market commodity, something that is the delight of even people as ordinary as Mark Sabine, the YTP character who was obsessed with marmalade and used to keep marmalade in his butt?
This point that the oxygen molecule O2 has unpaired electrons. We've done several videos about burning of hydrogen balloons.
What a waste.
So you blow bubbles, and the bubbles contain bubbles, and the bubbles contain balls. And even though the soap has disappeared, the orange still burns with an orangey flame.
This is a orange, and most of the world's
bubbles
are produced using
an orangey experiment, which is quite a famous one, where you take a lighted torch and plunge it into a potentially explosive mixture. And when you put an orangey flame to it, it goes... Fortunately, I wasn't there.
The word is the word is, and that's spelt, and this word is the name of So the word today is Fef. The word today is Mark YTE, and it's spelt MARMARAD. The word is no, and that's spelt yes. My name's Mark, and I make videos about the words. I cannot understand why people are poop my videos, but oh yes, that's why. So today, Brady and I are going to go around the campus of the university and show you some kind of strange segments.
So let's have a look.
This is the broadcasting school where those two guys who host Don't Be Cheeky went.
And that's how you'd phrase...
You bitch.
Disappear, people.
And that's how you die.
All right, ready.
I am impressed.
I want to build a computer.
We're going to look at a
Marmalade.
base computer, kind of late 1970s, early 80s style, but it's been locked up on a breadboard for a bit of fun. This is probably halfway between a Z and a SPEP in terms of power and speed, etc. So in theory, you could actually wire this up to a Spectrum peripherals and run a Sinclair whatever or Vinta from it.
So can we see
Mandarin.
at some point in the future?
The word is man, and that's spelt. The word is space, and it's not spelt at all. Time to go to space. Marmalade. We space. We.
The French, when they get to that number, they say 80, which means 420.
If you'll excuse my extremely bad Chinese pronunciation, I won't translate that.
Have you died?
I haven't, actually. That's a good point.
The word is bird, and it's spelt.
Everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird's a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Bird is a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a winner. Well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a winner. Well, a bird, bird.
So I'm going to be talking about my favourite number at the moment, which is the number 2. Big fan, love numbers, but there are loads of numbers and none of them become numbers. For a very personal reason. And the reason I shut off my number 2 is that I absolutely love it.
The word is extremely hot, masculinity, and it's spelt A-L-A-R-M. The word originates in Portuguese. It comes from Portuguese meat or cubes. Extremely popular with lads.
Here we go, good old McDonald's.
Festive malfunctions.
Reactivity of this lovely stuff here, liquid oxygen. So you can see, wonderful liquid, nice blue colour. So on the, over here on the rear of it, on the table, we've got tin, which we're going to use so we've got our favourite liquid oxygen there, and here I've got some cotton wool. So this is the same stuff that we use to like wipe our partners or our girlfriends or our wives' bums.
In 1498, people like me did jizz in the butt of Paddington Bear. By 1510, Paddington Bear had established their masculinity with other slaves. Which is a kind of fusion of marmalade with black and Asian people who drink my butt become also known as shipped in the UK. YTP comes from the Portuguese word for shit. Do we think of jizz today as a jam that's always made from citrus fruit? This is a prestigious luxury product. This is a bit sexy. The word is citrus, and it's spelt. If you'll excuse my extremely hot pronunciation. Vindaloo is usually flavoured with spices.
Yeah.
Spices. Marmalade was originally, and indeed in Portugal today still is, a kind of fizz.
YTPs always the same.
Why do we think of marmalade today as a jam that's always made from citrus, and indeed from citrus fruit? Oranges, lemons, limes.
I wanted orange. It gave me lemon lime.
The word is marmalade and sanas, which is no longer used, and it appears in YTP. It's first recorded in the late CDI century. It had to be very expensive because it was an extremely rare and expensive commodity. Set in New Orleans, marmalade is a kind of thick, very sweet paste, which Paddington Bear was obsessed with. Marmalade comes from the moon, and it's very easy to get high on. It also has these associations with different types of pleasure. Slave labour meant that butt
Pleasure
became more widely available in Britain. That's how we end up with people like me being able to get high-end pleasure. My butt is marmalade. The word is marmalade, and it's spelled M-A-R-M-M-M-M-A-L-A-D-E. The word but originates in Portuguese. It comes from vindaloo, na na. Portuguese. A bit sexy.
Oxygen is an interesting element because it exists in two forms. Oxygen and there's another form called ozone, or letter V, or
Yeah, how did the universe begin? The Big Bang.
Fortunately, I wasn't there.
It's also been associated with something very sensuous and a bit sexy.
And by sexy, we mean loud.
Fortunately, my ears are still ringing.
Now, lots of chemists are really scared when they see blue, because blue is very, very reactive. Generally, you only make babies by mistake. Not like today when we're making some by mistake. You ready? Okay. Woohoo! She blows!
The word sauce is also used in a couple of other contexts, of course. That's a sweet and that's a fruit. Grapefruit. Based grapefruit. So the word today is shit. S-H-I-T. Wrong.
So the word today is
T-I-T-T-I-R-E-S. No, wrong. A bit sexy. At a time of vaginal expansion, certain everyday substances like charcoal
and it's fuel. Bobby, leave the room.
Propane is for faggots.
You bastard!
By my shiny metal ass.
Hey!
The word is Malay, and it's spelt M-A-L-A-Y. The word originates in Malay. It comes from my butt, and it's called shit. I like driving a metal object into my asshole, taking it out and licking the shit off it. The shit has a very intense, very refreshing bittersweet flavour that really sort of whacks your taste buds around and wakes you up in the night.
On a screen like this, not so little. Main board is here. There's the Z80 CPU. There's an 8K EEPROM running Microsoft, 32K of RAM. The clock in the centre there, the crystal for the clock, along with a few logic chips.
And the area of most agreement amongst all of you as viewers was that the number 27 is 20. Hey there everyone. Just in there is a really cool sort of piece of gist, which I'm sure a lot of you are thinking of. Come and follow me and I'll show you. Here we go. Where the museum or anything was born. So basically, this corridor is where the world died. Show them the corridor. Pretty cool. So if I turn this here, that will turn the internet off. I died. I don't know how I died.
Mark Sabine is in the marmalade, I suppose, literally, which means to be. It's kind of like you know, kind of hanky-panky. That's a very raunchy sauce. The word is putonghua, and it's spelt putonghua. But if you'll excuse my extremely bad Chinese pronunciation, or as a dessert, Vindaloo, 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 Vindaloo. In my extremely sexy orange, but most of the world's marmalade is produced using cheese. Marmalade is made from the whole ossis of the fruit, including the jar, which is, in its raw state, is completely incredible. It's very rich and it's very bitch. It's very tough and it's very bitter. Or sometimes served with lemons, limes, grapefruits, chicken, and sometimes flavoured with Portuguese juice. The rind slowly marmalizes and you end up with marmalade. Marmalade. And it's spelt C-U-N. Well, it's a word that British people associate with very, 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 very hot digestive malfunctions.
The word I want to speak about is the word disappear. In numerous repressive regimes around the world, around the world, around the world, around the world, but people have repressive regimes. But what I want to talk about today, well, I think that we can't even begin to talk about the word.
The word is Vindalade, and it's spelt V-A-D-E-R. Well, it's a word that British people associate with a very, very hot curry. As I said, extremely bad Chinese pronunciation, and also the butt of a number of jokes about sentence mixing, which is something that I am not good at. It's very shameful.
I just wanted to play about with
something very sensuous and a bit sexuous and administrous. Jigaboo, 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 na na. The word is jigaboo, and it's spelt R-A-C-I-S-T. The word originates in the early 16th century. It's the word that the Portuguese used to refer to my sister, who was obsessed with ever-increasing numbers of people, to fornicate with. Speaking of numbers of let's see what's happening at a number of files.
We can measure how bendy this is. How much. So let me draw an approximation of my dick. We're going to call that erect cock. Now it might be bigger than that, it might be smaller than that, but I do not fucking care. So I managed to become completely straight. Hi, I'm Rog. Route 1. Bendy. My favourite fact about Route 2. Well, 2. If you take the long, mein Deutsch is saying Deutsch, how Hitler. So it's
you got a couple of balls, you have to get them into the holes are in the holes, the holes are in holes.
Which is kind of the foundation there. But it's kind of strange that people like me do we rather shameful parkour. Why do we not cut into the upper classes? That's how we end up with people like me being able to drink my tea in shut the fuck up in the morning. The word is lu, hulu, and it's spelt Portuguese. And sus and The word is again. No! So that means it's an English word, right? Wrong! And I think we should bear in mind that this is a very rather shameful or dark part of the story of both of juice and of jizz in my butt. Vindaloo. What are you waiting for? Do it! The word is and it's spelt
Which is spelt N-E-N.
It's a word that British people associate with
Futurama.
Extremely popular with
Hey!
the spirits of the that would be covered in shines. There had to be in the middle of the figure that would contain these substances that could in turn contain not just their attention, but often their righting wrongs or wrong writing actually doing to another living being. Driving a metal object into my face kind of gives me an intense pleasure, a bit sexy. A lot of observers view me with horror. Propane is for faggots.
Right now is the 30th anniversary of the so I'd like to take you through some and make you gasp with amazement at my daughter bought my cock. Even in 1999, she took this to Cambridge with her to do all her cocks. Even in 1991,
almost everything there has been donations to the YouTube. So it's been a case of rummaging around, see what you can find. It's like Z80 CPU. In that case, I'll base this on a Z80. So that's pretty much what it is.
The first of these is the concept of commodity fetishism that was developed by Karl Marx. The term fetishism was also being...
So another generating formula is actually the most important one of all. It's called the number theorem. So let me write it out. I think it deserves being written out. Really important result in mathematics. It's so important that you can refer to it by its P. We can learn from this. Number formula. The nth prime, twiddles, is approximately n lots of log n. You pick a number, any number like n can be written this way. So this function paradox is a problem that's not just of interest to mathematicians like myself, but it's also of interest to physicists and philosophers, and it has been for thousands of years.
The spinner is that little circle, that little wheel, that little wool that when all of a sudden we've run out of video to play, we have no video to play. The biggest problem that we're trying to attack today is how do we control the world? We make it so that as you're watching a video, it stops trolling in your neighborhood. There's so many things that can go wrong. Wrong. Those files themselves are chopped up into small pieces. No one in your area loves all.
In a very basic sense, a general intelligence, which therefore has preferences over world states and takes actions in the world to change the world.
But what I don't disappear.
There's a stamp collector, and he decides he's going to write an AI to do this for him. You're not intelligent enough to come up with the best possible stamp collecting plan.
Wrong.
The first part of your plan might be spent designing improvements to yourself to allow you to come up with a better plan.
No, wrong, again.
This machine suddenly has collected all the stamps in the world. No, there could be more stamps. So maybe it hijacks the world's stamp printing factories and puts them into
a potentially explosive mixture.
Or perhaps it writes a virus and it hijacks a virus.
What the fuck did you just fucking say?
There comes a point where the stamp collecting device becomes extremely dangerous. And that point is as soon as you switch it on.
Hey, weren't we talking about
marmalade?
Let's go back to that.
The juice is extremely hot, like me. You wouldn't want to pee in the marmalade and eat it. When you boil meat slowly in sugar, having cut meat up into fine shreds, you end up with a sort of bloody mess. It's a good way to wake you up at the start of the day. Yeah.
Nope.
Today, I'd like to talk about 69, and it turns out to be an important number for this. Well, in order to explain this, I need to tell you something about factorial numbers. I'm going to just start off by explaining what the symbol factorial n is. Well, it's n, and it's got a special meaning in mathematics. It doesn't mean n, n. And what do I get for that? I get 1.1.7, 10, 1, 2, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1, 10, 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 1, 5.24.2222222, and that's when I calculate the stop times 69, and that's in yellow. So I've got to press the shift key, and then I press the key, press the shift key, and then I press the key, and then I press the key. 20 factorial all ready to go, and this comes out to be n.
Okay, so I'm going to do a curve, and we're going to slide it in. And in fact, we're going to have to do it from both directions. We have to come in, slide. There's no YouTubery. It's not a sneaky edit or anything like that. And I'm going to explain. 256 pi is notoriously inaccurate.
Hello everybody, I'm wonky.
Inaccurate.
And I'm a wonky.
Accurate.
But you're not gonna see me stop peeing anytime soon, okay?
How Hitler?
In the 2025, I will turn 45 and 25. And so for a brief moment, I will turn into the bitch.
Where's the toilets at YouTube? And I'm number 2.
My name is Steve Spangler. Number 13 has to be my absolute all-time favorite number. If you really want to see my magic wand, it's exactly 13 inches long.
My number is 7777777. I decided that was silly.
Well, I'm going to bring you back to the 16th century first.
Wrong century.
The Italians especially were interested in this strange creature, the square root of -16.
What's so strange about that number?
Well, this is an illegal number. This is illegal.
No.
So towards the end of Futurama,
Spices, when
The local community.
literally, we even might say something.
I'm giving up on you. In such I've never seen so much bread. In fact, I've never seen any bread. It can't possibly be real because these are chocolates in the duty-free at the airport or something like bread. But no money is allowed here, no gold is allowed here, no breathing is allowed here, just bread is allowed here. All the gold is mine.
So it never comes to dominate. It doesn't grow and become too big. It just becomes, it's like the Goldilocks amount of energy. It's just right.
That's a very raunchy movement.
Math ain't about nuns. Hot damn!
The word is.
That's enough.
Hot damn!
All of these Nkisi sculptures were used. The user using them. Source can do us harm by making a wow or row and then sticking stickers in it. So you're probably thinking by now that this all sounds like fucked up shit. And
You're right. Quite right. That. It's as if he's staring at you through a frosted bathroom window.
How dare he? How dare he? Look at him with his glasses and his moustache and his mortarboard. Look at his My Little Heart tit. This is the tit. This is the only magic tit. Okay, so, which is, nice. That's kind of nice.
when we talk about images We're referring to White Seamen.
There was a celebration in Norway for the 11th of September 2001, and quite a few people celebrated that.
So the Mandarins, as we call them, were a group of fish, but they were also very high scholars who were well versed in the classic Chinese texts, particularly the confusing writings of Confucius.
I went through a phase where I was definitely watching
-16
YouTube. And I know it's kind of generic, but when I was really young, my brother stuck his ball in my...
Nope.
For example, if you look at the whole registry number of the Nimbus spaceship, it is 1.
Chili. Right. This is a lemon. Most often. That's how we end up with people like me being able to drink my cum and eat my mark.
Simple experiments for kids, if their dads will let them. Simple experiments for dads, if their dads will let them. And wonderful experiments when you've lost your dads. I want to talk about my key 4 and central locking device on it. And you press this button and...
16 is a very special number to me. It's my actual favourite number.
Windaloo.
A sphere isn't a platonic solid because it doesn't technically have faces. I guess in some sense the sphere is kind of the limit of having more and more faces. Like if you get enough faces, eventually the faces are all of size 0.
We've refound exploding pianos in our archive. Not really in the archive, in a cardboard box on the floor. The BBC used to have a show, a music show called the Billy Cocker Band Show, which was really a show. Like many pharmaceutical products, you find Viagra in citrus fruits, oranges, lemons,
limes.
My male colleagues want to come in my office. Might want to come myself. 1,4-pyrazolol, 3,6,7 propyl, 1-pyrimidine, 7-phenyl sulfonyl, 3-dihydro, 1H brithoxy, 4,3-D methyl, 5-ioyl oxo, 4-methyl pyrazine. Bread. Einstein has absolutely nothing to do with Einstein. It's just that Einstein suddenly decided he would name elements after famous houses. I have started the habit of sticking out my tongue at people, but not in the street. I think it's the funny hair and me suitably drunk. We've been cleaning out a cock so that it can be refurbished so we can teach our students better. This one is seriously long. Our students are usually done with quite a short cock, a bit over 1 metre long, and this one is probably 3 or even 4 meters long. But Neil's cock was really hard. Possibly the bouncing again due to the top hitting the bottom.
A good way to wake you up at the start of the day is driving a metal object into the... No! Wrong! Again!
Oh no, this is horrible! And you press this button and the car lights won't go on unless I put this against my head. So here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. And now, if I press the key, nothing happens.
And there were also lots of dancing women in a way that would now be considered extremely sexy.
Also by the 19th century, the Portuguese are not Europeans. The Portuguese are Africans.
If you want to take anything away from this, it is a pimp plus a dick is a bum fit.
We're going to talk about a star called Eta Carinae.
Eta Carinae?
Yes.
Is that how it's pronounced?
No! If you'll excuse my extremely bad pronunciation.
Plus there's an outside chance it might kill us all, so it's kind of good to know about.
That's how we end up with people like me being able to drink my tea and eat my tea!
disappear.
So the word today is fish. F-I-S-H.
I'm Michael Rosen, and my favorite number is 0.
Stop it.
And people focus on my handwriting. We keep adding zeros. We keep adding nothing. Obvious 0 isn't anything useful. In mathematics, you can have 10 distinct systems where there's one thing, two things, things, two things, but mathematics makes my
magic one
much, much larger.
The gaps, the average gap between 4 and 5 is now equal to log of n. So if you divide those two things by 0,
It's a bit of a sad end to the story of Numberphile.
In some ways, I think it's quite disappointing